it's Vanessa V, and this week I've been feeling literally all the things at once and in waves as well. I feel like that's you guys sometimes, or maybe all of the time. It's definitely been me, just because there's a lot going on. We have a vacation that's coming up, so there's been a lot of planning that's had to go into that. A lot of thinking, a lot of feeling, a lot of worrying, a lot of excitement, projects going on, my music, Nick's Poison Ivy is still lingering. I've just noticed that this past week, I've been having to do a lot more stress and anxiety management than I usually have to do because I've been feeling so many things, positive, negative, everything in between. And all of that wrapped into one has really caused me to experience feeling disconnected, shut down mentally, physically, but also at the same time, energetic with stress and anxiety energy. Is that you too? Basically, I've just been feeling really exhausted and foggy brained, and at the same time knowing that I have to get with it. I've got to do stuff. If I don't do stuff right now or soon, then the stuff will pile up or it won't happen in time. And so it's really just been so hard to not only feel my best, but to do my best and to be my best. And I know for a lot of us, including myself, that can be so frustrating. And so I wanted to share with you guys today a hack that is literally quick, easy, customizable, like all the hacks are on this channel. And I wanted to share that with you because it is one of the reasons that I not only have been able to do the things that I've done this week, despite how I've been feeling, but I've been able to do this chat with you guys today. So let's get to it. This hack I call the slow motion hack, or slow-mo hack, because even though it's about slow motion, it literally does and has for a few years now helped me to instantly be able to calm myself, find a better place of balance, and become more present and connected not only with myself, but my environment. It's really helped me to find a more balanced place inside. And overall, I've just found that it's just a really quick reset button. So let's do it together right now. And then after, we'll just quickly touch on why it works, because I found that when I understand the mechanics behind something and why something actually works, it actually tends to work even better. Okay, so step one is literally to just pick a physical movement that you would like to do. So it can be as simple as, say, picking up a bottle of water, opening a door, walking into another room, buckling in your seatbelt, itching your face. It really doesn't matter. So feel free to just take a second. You can feel free to pause if you want to and just think about a really quick movement. It's not a big deal. It doesn't really matter what it is. So trying to not get stressed about picking which movement. For me, I think I will, touch my nose. Step two, if we can help it, is to try and just pause any physical activity we might be doing, like walking around or swinging our feet or bobbing our head to some cool music. Ow. Whatever physical stuff that we might be doing, just try and stop and pause any physical activity. Step three is to, as slowly and as smallly, with as small of a movement as possible, to attempt to do that movement that we picked out in step one. So it might feel a little odd, it might feel a little weird, I totally understand, but if you want to try it with me, let's do it. When I say as slowly as possible, when I say as smallly as possible, what I really truly mean is literally, for this first example, for this first attempt, literally, as I try to touch my nose, as I attempt that, it's going to be as small as possible. I don't know if you can tell, but my finger is moving, but it's as slow as possible. So go ahead and try that. I'll keep doing this. Deep breath. Really paying attention to what we're feeling, what we're experiencing. What are our senses telling us? Are things becoming crisper in view? Are we able to hear things more clearly? Are we able to smell things a little bit more? What about feeling? One more deep breath. So feel free to pause if you need to, or you can stop with me. So how did that feel? What did you experience? I'll tell you right now, for me personally, just go ahead and take a breath. So for me, what I felt when we just did that was a sense of just almost spidey sense, where all of my senses seemed to zero in on that one thing that I was doing. And my vision became much clearer. My sound sense, how I was able to hear things, became a little bit more heightened. I was able to feel things so much more intensely. And those were the three senses that I really, really felt. But what it really helped me do was just feel instantly connected, not only to my body, but to my surroundings and to my space. And for me, it really helps cut through that mental clutter and that emotional clutter. And I hope that you were able to find that as well. One thing that I love about it is there's really no thinking to do. And that's one of the great things about the hacks that we talk about on this channel, is that there really isn't a lot of thinking that has to go into them. It's really just remembering that they're there, practicing them, or having other people remind us that they're there when we're in those super intense moments, and being able to lean on them without having to do a lot of thinking. And for this, all I have to remember in those moments is just to instantly stop whatever I'm doing and begin slow motion moving when I feel I'm ready, or just going right into a slow motion move, whatever I feel that I need to do. And the speed can change also. I mentioned that when we were sort of setting it up, is that it doesn't need to be as slow as we went. It can be a little bit faster. It's really all about what we need in the moment. And so not only is it quick and easy and customizable, but it's also something that I've been able to do in public, which I know it does feel odd. It feels really strange, just like that eyeball hack that we talked about. It definitely, I'm sure if I was watching myself do it, I would be like, what is that person doing? But for me, as always, I try to really incorporate it into whatever I'm doing in public if I'm not able to excuse myself to a powder room or something like that. And so what that can look like is if I'm shopping or if I'm out walking, taking my phone out, stopping and just opening up the screen, putting a news article on and just standing there. And so what I'm doing in that moment is reading a newspaper article. However, for me, what I'm actually looking at are perhaps slowly tracing the letters or slowly picking out what I see on the screen. It's all about slowing down. And we talked about that inner rhythm. I'll link that below for sure, because that's what this really helps us do, is it helps to slow our inner rhythm down. And that can be so important when we're feeling stress and anxiety and anger and panic. A lot of times we get so wrapped up in that, what I call rip current of emotions, that it can just be so hard to get out of that or to break the cycle. And I definitely find that this helps me. And once I've sort of gone through this quick process with using the slow-mo hack, I then am able to sort of speed things up a little bit and get back to living, which is what this channel's all about, getting back to living how we want to live, not how stress and anxiety wants us to live. But I definitely find that I have more mental, emotional clarity, and I'm more able to physically use my body throughout the day. And so sometimes that means taking that calmness with me from this hack and using it as I move forward. But sometimes if I need to be on, like if I'm on set about to call action or I'm about to go out on stage or something like that, I may not be able to bring that with me. And so it's just a great reset button, and then I can get back into it. Again, it's literally all about what we need. But for me, it is definitely a reset button, a pause button. And it is, like a lot of these other hacks, a form of meditation. Personally, I've mentioned this before, I'm really not a huge fan of meditating, honestly, but I am a fan of incorporating meditation into my daily life because I find that I'm more able to handle that and it still works for me. And so because this is a form of meditation, I have come to find it really does help me be sustainable throughout each day. And so that's what I'm hoping works for you. And again, this is perfect for walking, for eating, for doing your nails or taking nail polish remover off. I've used this while cleaning the house. I have used this while planning for a party and setting up, which by the way, that is actually how I came to come upon this hack.
It was about 3 or 4 years ago at this point, and I was walking around out in the hallway and, well, rushing around really because we were hosting a party that evening and I was just scrambling to get everything done. And I could tell I was quickly draining of energy. My mind was sort of going into goop, which it was actually making it where I couldn't be as effective and efficient at setting up the party. And something just dawned on me and I was like, I have to stop. So I stopped. I did some other stress hacks. But at that point, I was not ready to move forward yet. And so I thought, okay, if I want to get all of this done by the time the party begins, which at the end of the day, it's just a party, it doesn't matter. But to me, especially at that time, feeling how revved up I felt, it did matter to me. But I didn't want to sort of trip myself up more than I already had. So I decided to just
start moving slow-mo and see how it felt. And as I do that right now, you may not be able to tell, but I am slowly moving. I can just feel how grounded I feel. Oh my gosh.
That was when I really was like, oh my gosh, if I move in slow motion, it might feel like it's taking longer to do something, but I actually just retreat to a better version of myself.
Now, why does it work? That's what I wanted to share with you guys really quickly before we go, because it can be so helpful to know how and why, and it can help the hack work even better. So for years, I wasn't sure why it worked. The only thing that made sense to me was that I was allowing my brain, my triggered brain that thought I was in a survival situation, which we talk a lot about on this channel. The only thing I could think was that by stopping and allowing myself to move slowly in a non-frightened way was that it allowed that survival mode brain to sort of just catch up. Because what was probably happening, and what probably tends to happen in a lot of situations where we do feel rushed or we feel overloaded or we don't feel positive, is that our brain just has so many triggers. Ooh, oh no, my earring, it fell off. Oh no. Let me just stick that back on. But what's probably happening is that our brain is just so overloaded with all of these triggers that it can't read, because we just have so much going on in here and in here and in here, that when we stop and we slow down, it allows that brain to sort of just catch up and then be able to look around and notice that there's literally nothing dangerous in our environment, if that is actually the case. If not, of course, please seek emergency assistance right now. And that's sort of as far as it went for me. I didn't really understand anything further. And then this past week, feeling a little bit of my, pandemic pandemic-itis, I was just sort of lounging on the couch watching movies, and I had Notting Hill on. And for those of you who aren't familiar with the film, I will not try to do any spoilers for you right now. It's a cute, 90s movie? But I just had it on in the background. I happened to look up at the very last scene, and in this park scene, that's all I'll say, the camera pans by a group of people in the park doing what I believe is called Tai Chi. And when I saw that, and I've been using this hack way more this week, I was like, oh my gosh, I actually connected it. I've seen the movie so many times, but I actually connected that what they were doing was very similar to what I was doing. And so I looked it up. I just typed in Tai Chi, what is Tai Chi, or Tai Chi, okay. And almost immediately what came up was that it can help with stress management and stress release. And so I'm just gonna share with you guys really quickly, according to the Mayo Clinic, why Tai Chi, well, what Tai Chi is, and also why it can help so much with stress reduction. So, according to the mayoclinic.org, Tai Chi is an ancient Chinese tradition that is practiced as a graceful form of exercise. It involves a series of movements performed in a slow, focused manner and accompanied by deep breathing. It's non-competitive, which is great, self-paced, and it's a system of gentle physical exercise and stretching. There's many different styles. It was originally developed for self-defense. However, it has evolved into a graceful form of exercise used for stress reduction and a variety of other health conditions. It promotes serenity through gentle flowing movements. Amazing. Oh, and I love this. It says, if your schedule is erratic, do Tai Chi whenever you have a few minutes. You can even practice the soothing mind-body concepts of Tai Chi without performing the actual movements where you were in a stressful situation. And lastly, according to the Las Vegas Kung Fu Academy, love Las Vegas, the purpose of it is to bring the mind and body into alignment so that our energy is able to flow through us in a smooth and powerful way. It helps improve mental focus and staying present, improves your mood, it improves your sleep quality. So I actually tried some Tai Chi. I went on a YouTube and I tried a few minutes of Tai Chi. I will link that below in case you're interested in that as well. As always, please listen to your body, consult with your physical doctor person. I did find that when I did the video just for a few minutes, it really did help. And that's it. So really just at the end of the day, considering how we can incorporate stress and anxiety management stuff into our daily life. Feel free to comment below if you have done Tai Chi yourself. I think it's really interesting and quite beautiful to watch. So if it's something that you would recommend, feel free to comment below. And even though the world these days says, go, 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 overschedule, overexert yourself, or you don't care enough, don't forget something that I often have to tell myself, which is in the grand scheme of things, slow and steady tends to win the race, whatever that race is for you. Thank you so much for being here as always, and I can't wait to see you guys next week. Mwah! Bye! Is that a sweat stain? Oh my gosh.